Hey y'all, I am Tiffany Summers, and this is Country Gravy. I'm going to tell you one more time where that name came from. You ever heard that yo mama joke? Yo mama so fat, her blood type is gravy. Well, long story short, this is Country Gravy. All right. First, I'm going to apologize for the long delay between episodes. So, if you're new here, this is a local political podcast, local being the greater Baton Rouge area. And a couple things have happened since my last podcast. I'll tell you personally, we had a positive COVID test in this house. So that happened, and everybody was at home. Yay! Then we had a hurricane and no electricity. And then another positive COVID test because everyone was at home and we had all that lovely togetherness after the hurricane. Everybody is fine, everybody is in good health. My husband and I are both vaccinated, and illnesses were very mild. Kids are all good to go. The girls are back in school, and I'm back. Lucky you. Also, I want to bring attention to my shirt. Thank you, Momcology, for my shirt. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And if you don't know, my son CJ, my 5-year-old baby boy, he was diagnosed with leukemia in April of this year. So this is our first year celebrating um, Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Maybe you have seen recently where a pediatric cancer survivor, Miss Haley Arsenault, who is a homegrown girl from St. Francisville. She is a an alumna of St. Joseph. Ooh, God, y'all, why did that take me so long? St. Joseph's Academy. She's also an alumni of um, Louisiana Health Science Center, not in New Orleans where I went, but in Shreveport. It still counts. She's a physician's assistant at St. Jude, and she is in space, y'all. What a awesome way to celebrate Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Let's send one of the survivors to space. Maybe in about 20 years, CJ can do that too. Anyway, go check that out. It's really cool. Inspiration for SpaceX. They sent that spaceship into space yesterday, day before, and yeah, Haley Arsenault is on there right now. She's orbiting the Earth. How cool is that? Anyway, lots of cool stuff. So go donate to St. Jude in honor of Haley, in support of all kids and families who are dealing with a cancer diagnosis. Anyway, that's something I could talk about for days, but I won't. I talk about cancer a lot. And so here's my break from talking about cancer, is to talk to you guys about some local politics. So here's what we're talking about today. Did you know that there is an election in 2 months? And on the ballot, there are 4 constitutional amendments. Okay? And we're going to be talking about those. Specifically, we are going to talk about the Geaux Vote app, and we're going to talk about parlouisiana.org. That's where you're going to go to learn about these amendments. So I'm just going to give you not even an overview about the amendments. I want to give you information on those 2 resources. Okay. And then I'm going to have a series where we're going to go into detail about each one of those constitutional amendments. Okay. Not right now. Right now, I'm talking about the resources that you can use to go and be informed. Get the information yourself. Okay, so when our state reps and our state senators have session every year, there are some bills that come out of that are acts, and they're signed by the governor and they become law, but some of them have to be voted on by you and I, before that can happen. And some of those things are these constitutional amendments. And so they are now on, or they will be on our ballot in November, and we get a vote on those things. Okay. So how did I know that there was an election coming up? Well, I think most of us know that there are elections every year in November. We know that, right? Um, but let me show you. Okay, I've got my phone here, and I'm going to show you. I have the Go Vote app on my phone. Let me cover myself up so it will hopefully make that visible where you can see it. Go Vote, Geaux. Vote down there. Why is it not working? Y'all, I tested this and it was working. And now, of course, that I'm recording, I can't get it to focus. Darn it. All right. But the Go Vote app, you can find it in your app store. Android, iPhone, both of them have it. Go Vote, Geaux Vote. Okay? Secretary of State's office puts this out. And on the app, God, I hope it's gonna work and be clear, because there are some things I really do want you to see. All right. So you install it and you're going to give it your information. This is not any, private information. It's all public information. You're putting your information in so that it knows who you are, where you are, so it knows what districts you're in. So perhaps where you are, maybe there are some local ordinances that might be on your ballot. Okay. Not in Also, when there are other elections, local elections, you're going to see those as well. So it needs to know where you are. There are lots and lots of really great parts of this app, and I'm going to show you briefly just a couple of things. Anyway, after you put your information in, from then on, when you go on to the app, it's going to pull up your information, your voter address, your zip code, your parish, your ward, and precinct. Okay. And then you're going to hit continue, and it tells you when the next election is. Ooh, look, y'all, it's doing what it needs to do. Okay, so there, the next election, November 13th. That's the one I was just talking about, where we're going to have the amendments. Do you see all of those things you can do? Okay, you can go to the full website for the Secretary of State's office. You can look up previous election results. You can have your son interrupt you. Yes, my love. You mean you're done with your cereal and you would like more orange juice? The microphone's not plugged in yet. Yeah, that's mommy's new toy, right? Mommy is almost ready to use her new toy. Let's not play with the buttons. Thank you. Thank you. Love you. It's going to zap you. This is mommy's toy. I love you so much. Yeah, I don't know yet. That's why mommy's still using the headset. That's why mommy's still using the headset. We're going to learn. We're going to figure it out. And I'm going to pause because I'm going to go get my baby boy some orange juice. You know, I have done better about editing some things, but I might leave that in because, y'all, he's just so darn cute. Isn't he cute? All right. So, I was telling you about the different menu options on your Go Vote app. All right. So, it tells you the next election date, and it gives you the menu options. The one that I'm going to focus on is the one that says My Ballot. It's the second one on the list. So when you click on My Ballot, it shows you the ballot. If there was an elected official election, if there was an election for an office, a public office, all of the candidates would be listed there. I mean, it shows you exactly what would be on your ballot. So on this one, there are four. Hey, look, it's going to try to focus. There are four constitutional amendments. So as you can see, it just gives you like the title of those and then yes, no, because that's what your ballot would look like, right? Now, if you see the button up there that you can't really see because it's not focusing, oh, it like, that was perfect timing. Love it. It heard me. You have the amendment full text. Okay, so you can push that button and it gives you what the constitutional amendment, what the text of that amendment is. So you can go on and read that. And we've talked about this before. For most of us, you're going to read that and go, what? Or you may read it and think, oh, well, yeah, I know exactly what this is. This is a tax and I don't want taxes, and so no. But that might not be what it really is. So what I want to encourage you to do, even if you are a smarty pants and you know everything because you are just a genius and you keep up on all of these things and you understand all this verbiage because you went to law school or studied public policy, I want you to do the work, do the research, minimum listen to other people, lots of other people, talk about these amendments so that you really know what you're voting for or voting against. Don't be like Miss Hester and always vote no. And don't be like some other people out there and say, oh, it says tax. No, 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 no. Because that no vote doesn't always mean what you think it means. Okay? And as we get into these in more detail, you'll see it doesn't mean no taxes. Okay. All right. So the next resource I'm going to tell you, PAR Louisiana.org. PAR Louisiana.org. It stands for, PAR stands for Public Affairs Research. So it's this website is the website for the Public Affairs Research Council of Louisiana. So this is nonpartisan information. They are going to give you both sides of these issues. Okay? They have done all of the research for you. They have done all the research. Okay? So you're going to go to that website, parlouisiana.org. And the resources that you are going to look for, there are two things. All right. They have a mini guide for these constitutional amendments, and they have their guide, the larger guide. Now, let me tell you, the large guide is only, I have it pulled up, it's only 14 pages. It's a PDF. You can pull it up on your smartphone. You can pull it up on your tablet. You can pull it up on your computer. You could be like my mother and my husband, and you can print it out, and then it sits in, oh, where's the pile? It's over here. It sits in this lovely pile of all of these things that he prints out and doesn't do anything with. You could print it out if you're one of those people, and sometimes I'm like this, where I want it to be tangible. I want it to be in my hands. Okay, I want to carry it with me. They have a cheat sheet, and I did print my cheat sheet. So last year's election, I did print it because I went and I did the research and I read their guide, and then I marked off, yes or no on my cheat sheet and brought my cheat sheet with me. So I went bloop, 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 and I was done. All right. So you can print it out, or you can just save the guide to your device to go read whenever it's convenient for you. I don't think any of us, or there are a few of us maybe, who can sit and just take all of this in one sitting, right? That's not how real life works. You know, your son might come interrupt you because he's ready for orange juice. You know, life happens, right? Maybe you're listening to this short little podcast during your lunch break, and so right now you can't do it, or you know you have time to oh let me stop Tiffany and get her to shut up, and then I'm gonna go pull up parlouisiana.org, and I'm gonna save this resource to my phone for later, and then you know as you have time you can read things. Okay, so you can save the PDFs to go back and look. So the mini guide is only 6 pages, but really it's only like 4 pages of content. And it's big print, it's easy, you can get through it. But y'all, the guide has all of the research. Okay, so let me go through this. It starts with a cheat sheet. It gives you some background information. Now, for each one of these amendments, it tells you very concisely a vote for this amendment does this. This is what would happen. A yes vote, a vote for does this. A vote against, a no vote does this. Very concise, very easy to understand language. Maybe you read that and you still don't get it. Or you're like, what does that really mean? Then there's more information that you can read if you still don't get it or you just want more information. It goes through what does the current law say? What does it look like right now? And that gives you great information because you're like, well, why would they even want to change this? Like, why does it matter? Well, here's why it matters. Okay, they're going to give you that information. It talks about the proposed change. This is why maybe the bill was proposed in the first place, and that kind of background information. For some of them, for this first one, for example, it tells you what would not change. What part of that current law is not going to be changed either way, the vote for or against. Okay. And then it gives you more details on that argument for, so the yes vote, and the argument against, the no vote. Okay. I love this because it gives you both sides. When you are listening to the radio, watching TV, when you see little ads pop up that have been paid for, that are going to be on your social media, and you're going to see it. The closer we get to this election, you're going to see yard signs. You're going to see those ads on social media. You're going to see commercials on TV. When you see those, somebody paid for that. It's somebody's opinion trying to persuade you one way or the other. In those 30 seconds or in that just still image, they don't have a lot of time or a lot of space, literal space, to give you all of the information. They're just telling you, this is why you need to vote yes, this is why you need to vote no. And some of that information is very skewed. They're not giving you the yes, buts, or the, but this is why it does matter. They're not giving you all of that information. It's very skewed one way or the other. And maybe for you, you just need to know what political party opposes or is in favor of it, and then that's how you know which way you're going to vote. If that's you, you're probably not listening to me right now. But y'all, we need to educate ourselves. If your sole reason for your vote is because the Republicans or the Democrats told me to vote that way, I need you to do better. I need you to be able to have a conversation about these things. I need you to be able to stick up for yourself, to explain your opinion. and do so with information to back it up. And that's what PAR Louisiana is going to do for you, regardless of which side of the debate you're on. It's giving you both. Okay? So, the vote for, the vote against. And it goes through that for all of them. I love also that it gives you some really great background information. So, for example, for one of them, one of the amendments, it gives you, here are some other acts, some other laws that, happened in legislative session or that we've already voted on, and this is what was changed. Here's historically what was changed, and this is why they're looking at changing it again. Okay. It gives you that information. So when there are tax increases, it shows you this is how it increased, and this is where we are now. Okay, it gives you some comps, some comparable information. All right, so it goes through that for all of those amendments. So here is your homework. Go look at it. Just go take a look. If you have time, digest all 14 pages of um, of the let me go back, make sure I get the title exactly right. Of the PAR Guide to the 2021 Constitutional Amendments, an independent, nonpartisan review. Okay, go look at the whole thing. Read all of the information. That's your homework. Because we are going to start talking about each individual amendment and the vote for and the vote against, and we'll break it down. I need feedback from you. For this to really be successful, I want it to be a conversation. Okay? What I told you in that very first episode was absolutely the truth. I want to educate myself, and in the process, I want to help educate the public. I want us to be a group of informed voters. I want to grow up in a Louisiana where I ain't gonna have to worry about who's taking care of me when I'm old. I want people to make good, informed decisions and take your civic duty, not take it lightly. Let's take this responsibility seriously and let's inform ourselves. So your homework is to go and look at parlouisiana.org and take a look at the information on those amendments. And I need you to give me feedback. I need you to tell me if this was helpful. Maybe you just did the PAR mini guide. I was going to tell you about the PAR mini guide. So in the mini guide, I told you it's just 4 pages of content. It gives you just the vote for and the argument against. Like literally, these are the icons they have. Easy peasy, right? A yes vote, a no vote, and what that looks like for each one of these. Maybe you went to that and that's all the information you needed. You understood it. You didn't care about the background legislation. You didn't care about like historical context and how the law has changed previously. And you just went to that and that's all you needed and you made your decision. Tell me that. If you take the time to read the full guide and you were like, oh my God, this is so boring. I don't need this. This is talking down to me. Whatever. Let me know that too. I want to hear from you. Because if you don't want all that information, then why am I going to do 4 episodes, one on each of these amendments? If that's boring, if you don't want to know that, if that's not helpful information. I personally think it would be interesting. I think it would be helpful to have that. And I also need you to know I'm not going to tell you which way to vote. I'm certainly going to give you my opinion. Just like all those commercials and all those social media ads, I'll give you my opinion. But I'm not going to try to persuade you either way. Okay? So there's your homework. Go get the information. See which way you are swayed, and let me know if this resource, if PAR Louisiana was helpful to you and what you thought of it. I want some feedback. Okay. That being said, I'm going to tell you about something else on Go Vote. All right. So, in the spring, in March, I attended a training put on by Louisiana Women Lead. It's an organization that encourages center right women in Louisiana to get involved in politics and run for office. I attended the training, and something I've always wanted to do was run for school board. And that training, in my opinion, that training was geared more toward like statewide offices or higher offices, more like a state rep or state senate, state rep. And somebody said something to me about, well, school board could be a stepping stone. Um, think bigger than school board. I want to run for school board in East Baton Rouge Parish because that's where my passion is. I have 4 young children who attend EBR public schools. And so those are the things that I care about. I have invested interest in what happens. I've worked with students, with teachers, with administration, with families in EBR public schools. And I want to be there. I want a seat at the table. I want to help make those decisions to support our students and our families and do better. I do not want to go on, Zillow and look for houses in Livingston or Ascension or Central. I want to stay where I am and make my school work for me. Okay? That's the reality of where we are. I live in EBR and the schools aren't great. They're not. And I either have to make a change there or go somewhere else where the schools are better. There are some options in between. I'm not going to argue about that right now, but that's my reality. So, anyway, I'm at this training and I want to know what seats are going to come available soon. How long do I have to wait? When is this going to happen? When do I need to get ready? So, on my Go Vote app, I can go back to that menu and there's a menu option for my elected officials. You see it right there in the middle, my elected officials. So you click on that and it goes all the way up from the governor, right, the top elected official in the state, and all the way down. I mean, it goes through stuff that you probably didn't even know existed. Sorry, I'm not in focus again. Hopefully it'll pop back soon. Anyway, so that's where I looked. I looked at, I know that we just had an election for Metro Council, so those seats aren't going to be vacant until 2024. I was looking at the state reps. Now I got to find them on the list. The state, here they are. State rep, state senator, those things, when those come available. Anyway, but what I want to do, what is not a stepping stone, which is actually the seat I want to hold, is school board. So I am in, well, I think the districts have changed or are changing. Anyway, so I looked and my seat was coming open in 2022 and I was like, yes. Anyway, we'll talk more about that. But it's just another great resource so you can see who your elected officials are. So when you see things that pop up that say, hey, write a letter or send an email to your elected official, you can go there and look, and it gives you their information. It tells you where their office is. It gives you a phone number, which I'm sure is to their office, but you can go find more information. And so we're going to talk about more of those resources later when we get closer to the legislative session and we talk about La Ledge. But I just wanted to share that with you because that was one thing I was really excited about on Go Vote. And there, I guess, is me telling you to look for in the future, hopefully the very near future, um, I'm running for school board in East Baton Rouge Parish. So, your homework, download the Go Vote app, get your stuff in there, your information in there so that you know what's on your ballots. And then go visit parlouisiana.org and look at the guides for the constitutional amendment for that November 13th election because we're going to be diving into that. Don't forget, September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. If you feel led to do so, I encourage you to make a donation to St. Jude or find out locally maybe how you can get involved. There is a St. Jude affiliate right here in Baton Rouge, and you can volunteer with them. So you can donate not just your money, but your time and your talents to help children and families that are dealing with a childhood cancer diagnosis. Thank you guys. Thank you for listening and watching another episode of Country Gravy. Have a great day.